Welcome. Welcome to our Peek into Pink. This is so fun. Okay, we're going to wait for a couple people to get on and then I'm going to do some housekeeping things. So, by the way, I'm Robin Moore, by the way, and then this is Tanya. We'll get to know each other a little bit later, but I wanted to start with a couple of things. So first, if you guys look at the top of this post, if you exit out, it says, I'm going live with StreamYard, give them permission to see your name. So we would love for you to be able to do that. And you're gonna get extra entries if you go ahead and do that, because guess what? That means we will be able to see your name and we'll be able to interact with you. If you ask questions, we'll know who you are. And we love that. It's just because we're doing this so we can go live together. It's a little bit of a technological thing. So if you guys want to go ahead and do that, and then what I'd love for you guys to do right now is if you guys can do me a favor and just comment right now, let us know who invited you. So who is the wonderful person that invited you to this extravaganza that we're doing, that you're watching us live right now? We're super excited. And remember, when you're watching live, we're doing live giveaways. So this has just been like so much fun. And Tanya is really the master behind all of this. So Tanya, thank you for doing all this. It's been so fun.
Thank you. I have a good team. This has been a lot of fun. Like you mentioned, we all have strengths and we've all been kind of working in our strengths and it's all coming together.
It's so true. It's so fun. And I love that about our Mary Kay world is we look at each other's different strengths and we think, wow, we can do so much more together than we can apart. So I love that. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to give you an example. One of you said Sophie Elise. So your name is Facebook user on my end. So I don't know who you are. But then Kelly Schaefer says, hello, Joanne Lamb invited me. So like, this is the difference. So I see this or I see this. So make sure you guys tell us who you are. We want to make sure we know your name when you're going to watch us live right now, because this is going to be good. You guys will want to be able to interact and ask questions. So so you guys know, we're going to be doing giveaways for comments. And I'm just going to give a disclaimer. Tanya and I are both mamas of littles. And by the way, we're all working from home, right? That's normal, but we're also live. So if you hear littles in the background or hear people, give us a little bit of grace. We've got a lot happening around us. So we love you all, and it's live, so you never know what happens when you're live. So, all right, well, I'm going to let you know kind of what you're going to expect tonight. So what you can expect is that a lot of fun. That's what you can expect, because we love to have fun. But also, I think this is my favorite part, is I think that people are really curious about what other people do. Like, have you ever met somebody who has a job that you have no idea what they do? And you're like, I want to learn so much about that job. You're like, wait, can I learn? Like, what is it that you do? I want to know the ins and outs. I think some people feel that way about direct sales in general, and specifically Mary Kay, because we've been around for so long, right? So we're a company that's been around. So that's what I want you guys to be encouraged. You're going to hear about Tanya's story specifically. You're going to learn a little bit about me because I'm the interviewer. I always say I'm like the Steve Harvey. I'm the host. If you don't watch game shows, Steve Harvey currently hosts Family Feud. So I just think he's funny. So I'm like, I'll be the funny Steve Harvey of the show. But I would love for you guys to ask questions, and there's no question that's too hard or anything like that. So we just love to share our Mary Kay opportunity, and we do it really authentically because we're all so different. So make sure you are commenting on who invited you. If you have questions, we'd love to answer any of your questions. And remember, the more you comment, we're going to give giveaways. So without any further ado, I want to give it up to the one, the only Tanya Tylutki. Yay! If there was like applause in the background. I need my pom-poms. Ooh, I found one. We're in Mary Kay. We have pom-poms. Don't worry about it.
I love it.
Okay, Tanya, so will you just tell us a little bit about who you are? Just get us started. Let us know who you are really quickly.
Wow. Yes, I am mom of 3 littles. I have 2 boys that are ages 4 and 6, and a little girl who is 2. And I am also, my background is medical. Before Mary Kay, I actually worked in the medical field as an office manager and an x-ray tech. And now I call myself a momtrepreneur. Can't pronounce it.
I can never say that. I know I can never say it or spell it. It's fine.
So I love to say, instead of life is crazy and busy, life is very full. Especially in this season that we're in right now with the homeschooling and just trying to figure it all out, just like I'm sure every other mom out there is just trying to make things work.
I love it. I love it. And you're so right. Like I just saw this little thing that said mom boss, and I was saying that, what's really cool about Mary Kay is there are some women in Mary Kay who always dreamed of being a stay-at-home mom, right? To be able to work from home with their littles and be there all the time. And I love that. I think that's so admirable. I am not that person. I wanted to have a flexible income and I wanted a flexible job, but I definitely didn't sign up to be a stay-at-home mom and then work at home. Like, so this is a little like more than I bargained for. I'm like, I wanted him to miss me a little more than he does right now.
Right. And I totally agree with you, Robin. I always share that, I did Mary Kay in the beginning, to be home with my kids. And now I'm doing Mary Kay even more now so that to be away from my kids, just say, and don't judge me, but we need that. You do. And I honestly just thank God that because of my Mary Kay business, it's what's gotten me through all this crazy times that we're in right now. I don't even know if I mentioned before, but I'm a wife too. I can't forget that important part too. I've been married for over 9 years to my amazing husband as well too. And he's such a great dad and super supportive, as well too. So I can't forget that. Can't forget him as well too.
They're very important. Our Mary Kay husbands, we like to call them, they are always supporting our careers. And most of them love Mary Kay mostly because of the positive influence that it gives, I think, us as women. And so like my husband for sure is like, I want to be at every seminar, everything you do. Like I learned so much. And he runs his own business. So he's like, I want to be a part of this. So I just love that Mary Kay really is just about bettering yourself in a business. But so I want to talk really quickly. Here are some things I like to talk about with Mary Kay. So I'm going to share a couple things that really are important to me. And Tanya, I want you to share a couple that really are meaningful to you. So for example, I had researched a lot of companies before I started Mary Kay, and not direct selling, but all of that, right? So that was really something that was important to me, that to know we are one of the highest paid companies in sales across the board. Like I'm talking about, if you look at any kind of sales kind of position, Mary Kay, we are highly paid. And I loved that I didn't have to get more, I didn't make more money the more people I added or the more I bought. Like across the board, we make 50% of our sales when we are selling our products. Like that was, if you're brand new in the company or you're the number one director in the world, you are still making the same profit. That was super important to me because I did join Mary Kay for money. I'm just going to be very clear. I did not join it for any other reason than money. I needed more and I needed more time. So I was like, how do you get more time and get more money? That just didn't even make sense to me until I found Mary Kay, right? One of the other things that's super, super important to me is our company is an American-made company. All of our products that you put on your face, that you put on your body, are made here in the United States. We have one of the biggest research and development facilities in the country. And actually, the government asked us to shut down to make hand sanitizers for the first lines because no one else had a facility large enough to make it in the United States. But we did. And I just read this thing that in 3 days, we had over, I think it was 500,000 individual hand sanitizers out. I'm like, how did we do that? And guess what? Mary Kay donated all of it. So when I talk about a company like ours that's not only stable and amazing, that also they have a heart, such a huge heart to give back. And really during this time, we've stayed open the whole time. So those are some things that like really, really mattered to me about my Mary Kay business. So Tanya, will you share with us a little bit of the couple things that really were important to you and still are probably?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just love to share that this business brings me so much joy. And it all started, when I had my very first facial years ago when I was in college in my 20s. And that's when I was first introduced to Mary Kay. And I just immediately fell in love with the products. I loved everything about the skincare line. I had never wore makeup for the very first time, never wore foundation. And when I tried everything on, I was like, oh my gosh, my skin looks good. And I actually felt pretty, and I don't wear a lot of makeup or didn't before. And I just was so amazed and so blown away by the quality and the price of the Mary Kay products. And that's when I was immediately sold into the company, was the products. And then the second thing that really pulled me and gravitated me towards Mary Kay was the self-confidence and the personal growth that we get in our business. I always say because of the skills that we learn and the tools that we're equipped with, I'm a better wife, a better mom, just a better person overall in the community, right? Because I honestly don't know where I would be, without my Mary Kay. It pushes you, and it motivates you. It helps you to just be a better person, and the women that we're surrounded by, is it just is so impactful. I would say I grew up in Mary Kay, finding it at such an early age. I learned just about confidence and, how to carry yourself and dress professionally, and learned about finances and leadership. So I always love to share that I grew up in Mary Kay.
I love that. And Tanya, so tell everyone how old you were when you started in Mary Kay, and where did Mary Kay find you, and why was it important to you at the time?
It was in my 20s when I was in college, and I did a little bit of Mary Kay when I was, in college. And honestly, I just joined. I love the product so much that I loved the discount that came with being a consultant. So at the time, I was what you call a smart shopper, And honestly, I love to share that when I was in college, I was also like what do they call it? A secret Mary Kay agent, because I didn't tell anybody.
I call us sleeping beauties.
Sleeping beauties. There you go. And that's what I was. I didn't tell anybody I was in Mary Kay. But I love the products, and because it was making such a big difference in my skin and my face, I got lots of compliments, and people would ask me, what are you using? My mom and my sister. And that's how I got a lot of customers by mistake, just because I was using the products.
That's awesome. I love that. So it's kind of funny. I didn't know this, but you and I were around the same age when we started. I had just graduated college when I started Mary Kay. And similar to you, I never wore makeup. I was a college basketball player, so nobody was going to trust me to teach them how to do skincare or makeup. Let's be very clear. That was not on the docket. And to be honest with you, I had the opposite experience of you as well in selling this product, because I had nobody. My mom had sold Mary Kay for most of my life. My sister is a Mary Kay consultant. And what do we say? Like, when you wear it, people ask you, well, people had already known about Mary Kay. So I actually started this and had to learn to work with strangers. And it's so funny, because today, I believe one of the reasons I'm really passionate about building relationships is because it's when I got to learn that skill in Mary Kay, like meeting new people and really getting to know, like Mary Kay always says, we find a need and we fill it. Our job is not to sell someone a product, but if they have a need, we fill that need. So I love that our journeys are similar and kind of really different at the same time. Right. So I love that. Right. And so I just want to clarify for everyone that doesn't know here, Tanya's like a big dog deal in Mary Kay. She's a sales director in Mary Kay. And Tanya, how many free cars have you earned in Mary Kay?
We've earned 4 free cars. We're working on our 5th car right now.
That is so, can you guys imagine a 0 car payment?
That's a huge savings to our family budget. Huge. This time around, we actually took the cash compensation because we had our 3rd baby. And I love, of course, we had to upgrade. When we have 3 kids all close in age, you got to have 3 rows with car seats. Mm-hmm. So this time around, we actually took the cash compensation, and it's a huge blessing to our family. That gives us over $425 a month in our family budget, and that's what makes our van payment, every single.
I love that. I actually did take the cash compensation once as well, so I totally understand that. And is that so cool that Mary Kay says, hey, you can earn a free car or you can get a monthly check every month, like right. Whatever you choose, we're here for you. So I love that. And I think about that, how much money we save in not having car payments. That's just such a great savings. And what's crazy is people always say, oh, nobody earns free cars. Like that must be really rare. Well, actually, we have more free Mary Kay cars than there are UPS trucks. Y'all, that's like crazy. Right. Think about all the brown trucks you see around. There are more free Mary Kay cars than that. Like we have a fleet of Mary Kay cars, and you can earn a Mary Kay car as a consultant. You don't have to be a sales director. Both of us earned our cars as consultants, I think, Tanya, correct?
Yeah, I was a consultant then and then a director. Yeah.
I was a consultant when I earned my car too. So just so you guys know, that's just kind of the cool part of the Mary Kay side of the perks of it. So, I always like to ask people, that's the reason that you did Mary Kay, but what's the reason that you stay? Because usually the reason we stay is very different than the reason we join.
Right. I have to say the sisterhood. I love the sisterhood and just the the connections that we have, the relationships that we built, some of the very best friends that I actually have made has been in Mary Kay. You know, I grew up not really having a lot of close friends, I guess you can say. Most of my friends were like guy friends. And as a matter of fact, the person who had invited me to the facial back in college, it was actually one of my good guy friends' sister that invited me. So I was never really like a girly girl. I like you, Robin. I did play sports. I played basketball and ran track, loved it. So I was never like in with the big crowds or, you know, any of that stuff. And when I found Mary Kay, it was like a sorority without all the drama, you know, even though I've never been part of a sorority, but I love just the relationships and the people, the women that you meet in Mary Kay are real. There's no judgment, you know, they're there for you. We've been through ups and downs and highs and lows. And I love the relationships. My senior director, her name's Cindy Morgan, and she's like a second mom to me here in Tucson, you know, because all my family lives out of state, and she has really just, you know, been an amazing mentor and like a second mom to me here in Tucson. So I'm very grateful for the sisterhood that we have in our business, and that's what's kept me going.
I love that. I think that's so awesome. And what you said is, I love that Mary Kay is a place that if you want to be mentored, and you know, people pay thousands of dollars for mentors. I didn't know this until recently. Like, people pay people to mentor them. And in Mary Kay, we get them just as a byproduct of purchasing a starter kit, not even doing great in Mary Kay, but automatically you get a mentor. And I will say that's probably one of my favorite parts of Mary Kay is that I get to mentor, but that I have a mentor who has gone before me and done this and been successful as well. Like, that's very rare. I think in a job, even in, especially in a corporate setting. For me, I came from a corporate background. I know you were in healthcare, still can be pretty corporate, right?
Right.
And so I didn't have anybody I got to mentor, and the person that mentored me had not really known what they were doing either. So it was kind of, we were all figuring it out at the same time.
Right.
First year, I feel the same way. My senior has helped me through so many things in my life. She's helped me become a better mom, a better wife. And, you know, our senior, Carmen Felix, is a huge fan of the love languages. So she taught me, you know, how to show love, even if it's not the way I give love, and just things who teaches people those things, you know, other than your mom or a mentor. So I love that, Tanya. And I feel really similar. I feel like one of the things that I joined for money, I'm never ashamed to say that. I tell people, like, I didn't really want to sell the product, but I saw how much people wanted it. And I was like, wait, people buy this stuff? Oh, okay. I like it, right? Like, you're like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't, they're like, well, do you buy it? And I'm like, oh yeah. So that means other people do too. And I just assumed that the people that bought it were not like, that the people that bought it were girls who wore tons of makeup and like were big glamorous people. And I still, to this day, you can kind of tell I'm not that glamorous. I'm like a skincare junkie. I love taking care of my skin. I will wear makeup. I can make makeup like look good on me, but I really it's just not who I am naturally. So I didn't realize I could create this business based on really helping people with their skin, helping people with their self-confidence. And I would say for me, the reason I stay is because of the person I have become. I look at who I was before Mary Kay, and I could, like, the things I wouldn't have, like, I wouldn't have met my husband if it weren't for Mary Kay. I wouldn't have, like, I just look at my life before Mary Kay, and it almost brings me to tears to think, what if I wouldn't? What if I didn't even just try? And so I just love thinking about, like, that growth process. And you hear it all the time. You know, life is about the journey, not the destination. But really, it has been for me such a great such a great journey that I'm not even really worried about the destination, because I love every moment of what we get to do. So Tanya, now here's something that I think people are super curious about. I'm going to be honest. People are always curious about how much time, what do I have to do Mary Kay? What's, you know, like, there's got to be a catch, right? We all, I get it. That's how our brains think. So what would you say when you say that the have to do, or the thing that we're required to do, about Mary Kay that you feel?
I love, like you, Robin, I love the flexibility. We know we don't have a boss to answer. We don't have to clock in and clock out and have a certain lunch hour. You know, I really, really love, especially the season that we are in. You know, a lot of us moms are homeschooling our kids or online learning. And I just think, oh my goodness, like, I don't know what I would do if I was working out of the home. Like, who would I have to take time off work? Would I have to have somebody in the house, you know? And I love with Mary Kay, one thing that I've gotten really good at is setting a 5-minute timer. You can do a lot in 5 minutes for sure. So in between the schooling and the little ones running around, you know, sometimes we think, oh my gosh, I can't do this big task. But you turn the alarm on for 5 minutes, and it only took me 2 minutes to do that task. So I love that, you know, it definitely helps you to organize your time, you know, and I know this sounds probably crazy, but I'm not a natural organizer. But Mary Kay helped me become that type of person. Just saying, you know, it was one of those learned strengths, and it was Mary Kay that just, you know, really helps you to organize your time. And you know, we have many great tools that we use in our business. One of them is called the weekly plan sheet, and that really just helps me to keep my life organized. You know, not just my business, but also my family life also.
I love that. And that I am literally authentically shocked to hear you're not naturally an organizer because y'all, when we started this whole event, I was like, Tanya, like, I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not organized. The fact that I have a new office setup so it looks clean, but that is not my strength at all. Like, I love the people. I will speak to the people. I like no product, but organization, not my skill. So Tanya, I'm shocked to know that you were not, that means I can do a better job too. And I really do believe,
I give everybody hope.
I believe I'm a lot more organized than I was before, which is crazy because I'm not that organized now, but I was even more disorganized. But I just love that we're all so different and yet we're all so successful. That is really, I will tell you, that shocks me every time that I see people all different shapes, all different sizes, all different backgrounds, moms, non-moms, you know, women who work full time, women who stay at home, women who travel, all those different things. Like, it's kind of really crazy to see the diversity, if I'm really tell you the truth. So, Tanya, if there was one thing you wanted to tell people about Mary Kay that you really think they need to know, what would that one thing be?
Right now, if anybody is sitting on the fence, even if you're just thinking a little bit about Mary Kay, or maybe kind of been thinking about it and it sits in the back of your mind, just do it. Just jump in. We have a great program called the E-Start, which I know you're probably going to share in a little bit, but it's never been a better time. And I don't want to say easy because that's with like little or no effort. Everything takes some effort. But the fact that we can do this online now has been a huge, huge success for so many of us. And I love that, you know, whenever we get back to whatever our new normal is going to be, we now have this whole other avenue to add to our business, you know, not just to do in-person, you know, facials and meetings and parties, but we now have this e-tool and oh my gosh, like, it's totally blowing my mind. I'm having so much fun. I feel like a brand new consultant all over again. Like, I'm so excited and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, I just amazed by what we can do now.
I totally agree with that because this whole online thing is brand new to me too. And I've never done anything like this. And we've had the best 4 months our units ever have. We're about to earn our first pink Cadillac. And I'm like, we did all this online? Like, how did we do this? Right? Like, we really are, because we're so real and authentic and we don't have gimmicks. We don't have any of that stuff. It just makes it simple, right? It's not easy. I love that you say that because, and it does take effort. Anything takes effort. Marriage, relationships, motherhood, work, school, it all takes some kind of effort. It's just an energy management is how I like to think. So I love that you shared that. So you guys, I'm going to share how to start a Mary Kay business. But while I do that, I'd love for you guys to comment what impressed you the most about Tanya, or about something that you heard about Mary Kay, or about our journeys. And what you, maybe even some questions you might have that maybe we can come back and answer, or even answer live if you're on with us. So a couple of things I want to share. Number one, there is no better time to start a Mary Kay business than now. Just being real. What Tanya said is so, so true, that really we have 3 options to start your business currently. Currently you have the $30 e-start, which $30 to start a Mary Kay business. You get a free website and you get a free merchant service processor for a whole year. That's insane, you guys. Like, I don't know if you, any of you run any other businesses. That's impossible in the rest of the world. Just keeping that clear. The other option is our $100 starter kit, which comes with all the fun stuff. You get all the product, all the fun trays, everything you need to have a party in person, or even I say live, because I use all that live too. I love to show product. People love to see things and hold it. and just see it visually. And the last option is to do $130, where you get the whole kit and caboodle and the e-start, which again, our starter kit is worth over $400. The $130 value is over, you know, over $500 worth of value for $130. So like what Tanya said, why not? What's the worst thing that's going to happen if you decide to join a Mary Kay business? You get an e-start or a starter kit, and it's the best Groupon you've ever had. You've never had a better Groupon, I promise you. There is nothing better than comes out of that starter kit. And there really are, that's the only requirement to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant, is to purchase a starter kit. And now you have that option to do it at $30. You guys, this is crazy. So the last thing I want to ask you guys, and this is going to be where the big comments come in, and this is going to be where the big giveaways come in, is we want you to comment on a scale of 1 to 5. And this is honestly, we expect you to be completely transparent and honest. There's no judgment here whatsoever. And if you could see my little emojis, on a scale of 1 to 5, on what's your likelihood that you would want to ever do a Mary Kay business? And specifically right now, during this pandemic, during this time, this season, and a 1 being like, Robin, I would rather eat a green fuzzy worm than ever in a million years do a Mary Kay business. That is not me. That's not what I want to do. That's 1. 5 is like, girl, you said $30? I spend more than that at the dollar store. Of course I would start a business. Actually, I want to start for $130 and get the whole thing. I know a good deal when I see one. So if you would comment below, comment 1 through 5, and we're going to give some time before we do giveaways for this, so that those of you that maybe are jumping on a little bit later, that you're going to have time to comment. So if you're also watching the replay, don't forget to comment on your scale of 1 to 5. And Tanya, I just want to say, from one girlfriend to another, that I am so blessed that I became friends with you through Mary Kay. I feel like I become a better person. I watch you and I'm like, wow, you are an amazing mother, an amazing wife, and a phenomenal businesswoman. I think that God is so great to put us together, but I feel blessed that I get to be in your space because you are one amazing human being. So thank you for letting me be a part of your life. I really appreciate it.
That means so much, Robin. It's an honor to work with you too, girl. You're just doing so many great things. And I love that we got to group up together and team up and be part of this event.
Thank you.
So it's an honor to work with you too. You're amazing. I love you more.
Okay, well, I love you so much. And I'm so glad you guys are on tonight. So we are going to let you guys have the rest of your Friday night. But we will stay tuned because we're going to do some giveaways. For those of you that comment, we're going to give you a little bit of time to comment, and then we will do a free giveaway. And you guys, we've been giving away some really good stuff, so don't miss out. Have a great rest of your night. Bye, you guys.
Bye, everybody. Good night.